yeah, like Disneyland, and there was from your group came the comment Dubai. So there's an example for artificial attractiveness. So and we said, oh, even your magic city in Tashkent, yeah, and these kind of things is artificial attraction. Then we went on to essential metals, factors are infrastructure. First of all, you need mobility, flight, railway, and we forgot a road network, yeah, which is the most road network. You need road network, and it should be functional, right? Otherwise, you cannot come from point A to one B. Then you need general infrastructure. Yeah, that means accommodation. One of their topics, tourism and hospitality. Then you need nutrition, restaurants, coffee shops, bars, whatever. Yeah. Then we said about, maybe you understand that better because you're younger. The young generation in Europe and in America, they are not so fond of meat anymore. So they ask for vegetarian and vegan food. Yeah? So you have to serve both interests, classical food, but also vegetarian and vegan. Yeah? This is an upcoming movement even, not only trend, but a movement. So about the health issue, healthcare, your public health system should be working. Yeah? So people feel safe and think, okay, if something happens, if I have eaten too much meat, yeah, I have an illness, I will be well looked after. Yeah? And then very important, safety and security. Yeah? We talked about extreme examples like Lebanon or Gaza, yeah? Palestine. You cannot travel there anymore. Yeah? Or in the Chad or in Africa. And one of the extreme example was from me, South Africa. It's a phenomenon because you have both. You have a very low level of security, yeah, high criminality, high crimes, but a very interesting destination. So people are very fond to travel to South Africa, but you can only experience South Africa by day. By night, it's very dangerous. Yeah? So it's ambiguous. Yeah? But you have to take care of it. And maybe it will harm in South Africa. If it goes on like this and it gets worse, it will harm tourism. Yeah? So people will refuse to go there. Then finally, we came to another big issue, consequent service orientation. If you be successful in tourism, you have to be service oriented. Yeah? And you Uzbek people, you have a wonderful advantage already from your nature. You're very friendly. You're very hospitable. Yeah? Yeah? You know how to greet guests, how to take care of them. That's wonderful. Yeah. Just use this strength, yeah, even more, and bring it to other shops, restaurants, airport services, which all gives a whole picture. They say not only at university they are so friendly to me, that only I can say they are friendly to me in the restaurant, they are friendly to me in the hotel. Huh? These are the contact points of tourists. And then we came to the last point we had this morning was commitment to highest level of quality. That means always striving for perfection. The same is valid for your profession. Yeah, you always want to be the best teacher ever. Yeah? So you strive for perfection. Adaptation to international standards. This is also sometimes a problem in tourism. You want to be as authentic as possible, but also you have to follow the international standard. That means people from America, from Europe, they want to have a functioning shower. Yeah, they want hot water in the morning. You ask me, what about the bathroom? They want to have proper food. Yeah, they want to that hygienic standards are fulfilled. Yeah, so but on the other side, they also look for typical, authentic atmosphere. Yeah, they want to experience your folkloristic atmosphere. They want to see how people live, how work. But always you have to find a balance, yeah, between these requirements internationally and your local aspects. That's what I mean. Then also willingness for innovation. Yeah, like at universities, I think you have the obligation to be innovative. That's what you ask for from a university. So always in tourism, follow this idea and be as innovative as possible. Yeah, work with new techniques. Work with new ways of addressing people, use new technologies like social media, like CMR, customer relationship management, yeah? Follow-ups, yeah? Use artificial intelligence. Yeah? Yeah? So it's easier for tourists. And then we said do regular competition investigations, monitoring your competitors. So not only say, we are Lucas, we are the best regional from all Uzbekistan. No, look what others are doing better. Yeah? What they do instead of you. Yeah? Why are they more successful? Yeah? And look at it and adapt it or imitate it even. Yeah? You can imitate, but bring it into your own form. Yeah? Not only sheer imitation, but mix it with your assumptions. Yeah?
Not just copy.
Not just copy paste. This is what he said, very bad, and we talked about it by lunch. I know this phenomenon from Africa, from Madagascar. I was 5 years there, and they told me from the travel industry, the owners of travel agencies and tour operators and Klaus, it's very difficult for us. Our employees, they stay with us 2-3 years. They look after how the boss is doing all this, and then they keep the job. Yeah? They go outside, they leave the company, and they create their own company. And even sometimes they steal the addresses of the clients, yeah? And take them with them and say, oh, now I have a new company, I can do it much better than my old boss. And they even write to the clients and say, oh, you know me from last year, now I'm on my own, please come to me and book your trip with me. Yeah? And so there's a big fight between these two positions. So always learning from others and also benchmark. This is an expression that you know it. Benchmark is American English in marketing. That always compare yourself with the ones who are below you in your level, yeah, in quality, and the other ones who are at the top. So you can say, maybe I'm in the middle, or in a degree from 1 to 10. Yeah, you can say, you can say, I just repeat for the other guy. You can say, now I'm at a position in the notes. 1 is not so good. Yeah? 10 is excellent. I'm at level 3. Yeah? But I can do, and my target is in the next year, I want to come from level 3 to level 5. And in the second year, I will go to level 7. Yeah? And in the third year, I'm at 9. Yeah? So this could be part of your strategy. So that means benchmark, learning from others, and positioning yourself. Am I part of the elite? Yeah? Am I part of the top team, or I'm part of the basic team? Yeah? I just fulfill the standards, nothing more. It's a decision we have to take. Yeah? Also in tourism. Yeah? So and now we stop at this. We come to the 6th point: using the latest technology. What do you mean? What can this be? Using the latest technology? What is it?
Artificial intelligence.
Right, artificial intelligence. Excellent. AI, make it like this. Yeah, AI,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence. What else? What comes to your mind? Very common. What all your students use.
Social media.
Right, social media. Social media. I think they all use it, right?
Yeah.
And what is the most popular in the country? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it
Instagram.
Twitter?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yes.
And Telegram.
Telegram.
So this is the most popular, huh?
Yeah.
Instagram, is it? Yeah. So technologies, but not only in communication, you also have it in different areas. What is also? What think about technology is also about energy. Yeah. So in a country, if you have tourism, you need stable energy supply. Yeah. So not that the light goes out when the tourist wants to have a shower in the evening. Yeah. And he stands in the dark and cannot find his soap. It may slip in the bathroom or something. So that means stable energy supply. I know from Madagascar, sometimes they have up from 2 to 3 hours no energy, no electricity. This is really a pain for the local people, for the industry, and also for the tourism. Yeah? You cannot do anything. Yeah? You can make presentation, and maybe you know this phenomenon from here. And also, now it's solved. Only 2 years ago, there was a big problem in South Africa. I'm talking about South Africa. They had Ministry of Energy was a bit lousy and a bit neglecting their job. And in South Africa, every day sometimes in the evening for 2 hours they stop the electricity, and I experienced it 3 years ago when I came to Cape Town. I was in a restaurant at 8:30, and they said, "Please give us your order immediately. In the next 10 minutes, the electricity will go down. We cannot cook your meal anymore." In a very good restaurant in Cape Town. So even there it can happen. So stable energy supply. What else? What is also important, you see, you have it here with your iPhones. I have problems being connected here, yeah, sometimes, and then it's very slow. Your internet, yeah, continuous, yeah, internet access. This is very important. So people expect that, and we said about international standards, people from Japan, people from Asia, especially Asia, even from China, they have such a wonderful internet system. People from America, from Europe, they expect that they can be reachable everywhere. So this is very important. And this, we talked about new investments, about this hotel. Even this 5-star hotel, which is coming up here in Tashkent, it's a standard now for 5-star hotels to have a continuous Wi-Fi net. Otherwise, people would be angry and say, "This is not a 5-star hotel." Yeah, it's a common standard. And also, what is also we call it easy access to easy access to technology and handling. That means if it's too complicated, the easiest thing to get a SIM card. Now, even we've talked about innovation. In Germany, we have now a provider. You can order an electronic SIM card. So if I come here, I don't have to change my SIM card. Yeah, I did it with a second item, but normally you can buy it already in Germany for Uzbekistan. I did this also for Laos some months ago, and then you use your own mobile phone, and when you arrive, you can switch on to Uzbekistan network. So such things like this. Or if it's too complicated, to technology means also means even the bank system. Yeah, if it's too complicated to get to a banking machine, to get money from an ATM machine, this should be easy. It means easy access. Otherwise, people are lost and say it's too complicated, and always I have to show my passport going to the bank, and the bank is only open for 3 hours per day. This should be easygoing. Keep it short and simple. You know this saying from the Americans: keep it short and simple. And so keep it short and easy. You could say in this technical field. So this is this one. Oh, you're very good with this. So then we have a 7 point. Where is something else comes to your mind? The technology. Artificial intelligence. One question from me to you as experts. How do you handle this? Can students use ChatGPT?
Yes, definitely.
You allow them?
Yeah. All of them.
All of them use it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's allowed.
Convenient, easy to use.
Yeah.
To find.
But the only thing is not in examination, right?
No. They're not allowed to use the
If the
mobile service during the
Okay.
final exam.
Okay. Only for research, or for homework.
Home assignments, according to the home assignments and other classes.
Okay.
Self-study.
Then that's clear. Even I use this, and it's very helpful. I found out myself. It's incredible. So, 1 point we discussed also at lunch. You remember? Yeah, you remember? So we said about compatibility of tourism. With environmental protection and sustainability. So, if you want to be a successful destination, you can only survive if you keep this in mind, if you really follow this strategy. So, because why? I learned from your country, you had problems with your Aral Lake, which is a real disaster, but it's an environmental catastrophe. And so we in Germany also have some problems. We have our biggest lake is called Lake Constance. You've heard about this lake? Make it mine black. Have it here. It's the Lake Constance. Constance, and he's in the south of Germany, yeah, near the border to Switzerland. The greatest lake in Germany is called Lake Constance. And this lake belongs mainly to Germany. It has some borders to Austria, and the south part belongs to Switzerland. Yeah? This is the Lake Constance. And even this lake is now before I left to come to Uzbekistan, it was in the news. It has the lowest level ever since history. Yeah, there's less water than ever in the Lake Constance. Yeah? So you see, even sometimes we have this kind of problems. It's not about irrigation. It's about that the glaciers are getting little. Yeah? There's not so much water when the snow melts because the Lake Constance and the River Rhine goes through Constance. Yeah? So it has less water than ever. Yeah? So this is also what we say about this. This is whiteboard. I have the right. This morning I mixed it up. So, and this means rhythm has to be sensitive, yeah? Why sensitive? Because the truths are more and more sensitive about all these aspects. And if you want to attract the younger generation, they even decide about destinations if they are sustainable or not. Yeah? If there's too much rubbish and too much pollution, so why should I go there? Yeah? I look more for the ideal destinations and not for the ones who pollute the air, yeah? and spoil the earth. So I want to go. So has to be. I forgot this. Has to be sensitive. Yeah, with that. About pollution. This is also a big issue in cities. Pollution and environmental or mental damage. Like, for example, you remember when there was the Olympic Games in China, in Beijing, some 20 years ago, the air was so polluted, they even managed to stop the industry factories. Yeah? And they, I think they sent some planes and starfighters into the atmosphere to shoot away the clouds, yeah, to get rid of the pollution. It was a big concern there because people were afraid of going to China and said, we will get ill if we have this foggy atmosphere and then the pollution. And even in Bangkok, in Thailand, which is also a very famous tourist destination, some 10 years ago, it was horrible. You had to cough because there are all these TikToks, these little taxi drivers with their diesel cars, and everybody was making a fire at the street markets, and the pollution was so obvious, yeah, that they cannot survive anymore. Yeah, and they're really concerned about how people get ill. Yeah, and they have this phenomenon very often in very big cities, yeah? And sometimes also in Germany due to our traffic. And it goes like this: even in some towns in Germany, you are not allowed to drive anymore with your diesel car into the center of the city. There's a ban. Yeah, they say you can only go if you have a sustainable car machine. Yeah? So that's why it's very important. And people more and more decide about that. Yeah. So this is something here. What is you think there's a difference between generations here? Are young people more concerned here, or how is it in Uzbekistan? What do you think? Yeah, what about the feeling of young people or older generation about environmental damage, sustainability, environmental protection? How is it seen here? Yeah.
No, older, yeah. Older are more.
Are more concerned?
Yeah, I'm more
I
concerned
see.
about
Yeah.
pollution because younger people, they don't care, I think.
Oh, that's interesting. So you see, the elder people have more relation to nature, maybe also, or know about the relations
Some of
between.
them want to protect the environment. That's bad. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all of them.
So you see, it's more the elder generation. Huh?
Yeah, alışın. Үлкен адамдар көбірек не ойлайды ғой талдышында. Жастар мысалы суға барып баклажкаларын нелерін тастап қояды ғой шомылған жерінде.
So we say more concerned within elder people, yeah?
Yeah.
It's interesting because just the opposite in Europe. In Europe, it's more the young people. They are very, very sensitive, and even sometimes they get now in schools. They have these lessons about saving energy, pollute the air, and then sometimes it's like this in families in Germany. Children come home from school and they tell their parents, "Mommy, Daddy, listen. I learned this today, and you are doing not good at home. Yeah, you don't separate your garbage. You use too much electricity. Yeah, Daddy, for a small walk, you take your car. You should have taken the bicycle. Yeah, so children are educating their parents. Yeah.
Our children also say to us.
Yeah. It is similar.
Don't use the most electricity.
Yeah, it's good. It's this change in mindset. Yeah, and why I tell you this, because if you will hear or see international tourists, they will ask you, "Oh, what are you doing with all your electricity? Where does it come from? Yeah, why are you using so much water for this and that? Yeah, yeah." Yeah, why put too much light in the rooms? If one light would be enough, but you will take four. The special subject.
Why so abroad? The younger generation, I'm not concerned about. They have special classes, some kind of about pollution of the environment.
Yeah, because now it's an issue. It's a subject in the study plan of schools and university.
That's why.
Even we have specialized universities in Germany. They offer studies in sustainable tourism. Yeah? And a lot of young people are concerned and they go for agriculture, sustainable technologies. Yeah? You can find it in different faculties. Yeah? So it's very, very popular. And we have in Germany, even in the politics, we had the Green Party. They were very concerned about pollution, I think, and they even had as a logo, they named themselves Green Party. And they had been a member of the government, but now they lost the election due to other reasons. But their main concern is saving energy, to create a stable environment and sustainable environment. Then 8th point, come close. Then tourism should have. You can read it. A positive impact on local society and economy. Yeah, we discussed it very intensively.
Of course, without doubt. Of course, without doubt.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's not worthwhile to do tourism. Yeah. So, but do you know an example where tourism is not so sustainable and local people do not profit from tourism? Can you give me an example?
From tourism?
Yeah, when it's not so favorable for locals, very special kind of tourism. We don't have it here because you have no open sea.
Yeah.
What is it? What kind of tourism comes to your mind?
So when I was in Turkey, Turkish people said that they mostly their economy is coming up, improving from tourism because they have so many tourists coming to Turkey.
Yeah.
And they have some kind of different kinds of business of taking money. So that's why they tell that mostly the money come from tourism.
Yeah, especially Turkey, because Turkey is a wonderful example. They developed the whole coastline of Turkey is full of hotels now, different categories, even very elegant hotels. Yeah, they have a lot of golf courses there. My special subject. You can play golf there for little money. Still, and it's as you're right, and they developed it, and in a lot of big industry now. Yeah, and the social product in Turkey it depends strongly on tourism. But there's one part of tourism which is criticized that local people cannot take part of it so much. We talked about it. Do you remember what kind of tourism it is? Every others? You remember? When I told you when I was young, I was a tour guide on. You remember I told some of you I was a tour guide when I was a student, and I worked as a tour guide on a cruise ship. And this cruise ship was touring around the Mediterranean Sea, starting from Italy, back to Italy, to Israel, to Egypt, to Greece, to Malta, to all these different places. And that means, so, for example, critics about cruise tourism. Yeah. So that means this is a critic with the big cruise ships, yeah, with some 4,000 or 5,000 people. Not here, we don't have this kind of tourism. In the Mediterranean area, yeah, or in Africa or in Asia, they arrive with the ship in the morning at 9 o'clock. Yeah. They go into the harbor. 50 buses are waiting for, 100 buses are waiting for these tourists.
Yeah.
They put into the buses. The cruise organization has already booked the tour.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe a local agent can gain some money, and then they go around the tour or they walk through the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least some of them they may buy a coffee, yeah, or drink a tea and buy a postcard and some kitsch souvenirs. Yeah, but that's the most. And then after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, they return to the ship. And sometimes they return even for lunch, and then they stay on the ship again, and they don't spend money in the restaurant. Yeah. So this is very much criticized in Europe, this kind of tourism. Yeah. So, but like here, as you said, in Turkey, it's different. So people really take advantage out of it. Yeah, this has to be it's very, very important for this.
As I said that most Samarkand and Bukhara guides came to see the only RLC and the cemetery of ships, and they don't stay at hotels, and they don't pay for the guides, and they don't pay anything for here, and just have lunch or just dinner, and they come back to Samarkand to their hotel, and it's also not so beneficial for us.
So and then you should give them the opportunity to stay longer.
Yes.
So they say at least not only for a day trip to Munich, but also for here. So stay for 2-3 nights here. Yeah? Then the local hotel owners can take profit of the shops, the restaurants, and that means the tourists, should be impacted. This is the tourists, tourists. You can say this is a tourist. He spends money. For what does he spend money?
Accommodation.
Right. Accommodation. Hotel. I write it down as a hotel. Hotel or hostel, whatever,
Travel expenses.
And he for?
Travel expenses.
Yes.
Travel expenses. Tickets.
Tickets, travel.
Yeah, travel expenses.
Travel. That's right. For tickets.
Yeah.
Then this is tickets, That's for railway, for taxi,
Yes.
Taxi, that's good. That's something locals can take advantage of. What else?
Meals.
Meals, Meals and drinks.
Yes.
Meals, drinks.
Guide maybe.
Yeah, this is the services we can put. Guides,
Guides.
Guides. Yeah, that's good. Guides. And sometimes also drivers,
Yeah, drivers.
Yes. What else do we have? What do tourists do? They like to do?
Maybe some kind of buses.
Shopping.
When you went to Dubai, you did shopping. Bought some souvenirs,
Shopping, yes.
Souvenirs.
You know this saying, shop until you drop.
Shop until you drop it.
Shops,
Yes.
what do they give money for?
Um,
Yeah, you can say for shops,
Entertainment.
for clothes, for local clothes,
yeah.
or t-shirts with something
Yeah,
on it.
Gifts.
And even
Gift.
for souvenirs.
Souvenirs maybe.
Gifts, souvenirs.
Souvenirs. So, and we said souvenirs is very important, that it should be good stuff, not kitsch. You know the word. And that's it.
Maybe some kind of chocolates or
You
sweets.
can differ. You have quality souvenirs, or you have this word kitsch. You know this word kitsch?
Kitsch?
Kitsch, no, kitsch.
No?
Kitsch, yeah, very important. It's a English, American, German word. Kitsch, you have to remember this is very important. Kitsch.
The kitchen.
Kitsch means ugly items, low quality, mass production. Yeah, and they tell you, for example, you could find maybe ceramics, and they tell you in the shop it's made in Uzbekistan, but it's produced in China or Vietnam. This means kitsch, and it's like in Paris, for example, they sell you everywhere you go the Eiffel Tower. Yeah. As a key holder or as illuminated or made of wood or made of rubber and these are not the best things. They are low in quality, not very authentic sometimes, and they correspond. That's why it's kitsch. They correspond. This is the permanent. I have to take this. They correspond to the cliches. You know the word cliche? Cliche. Also cliche. Cliches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cliches. It means cliches is prejudgments. Yeah. So you could say all Germans are krauts. Yeah, because they like to eat sauerkraut. Yeah, or all British are tea drinkers. Yeah, these kind of cliches. You give one attitude to a nation. Yeah, or to a certain ethnic group. Yeah, this is a cliche. Yeah, which is sometimes. There's a core of it in that, but it's not the only point, and it's reduced to one item or one judgment. And that's why you call it cliche. And the kitsch works with that cliches. So the producers of kitsch, they use these cliches. So that, or for example, what is
For example,
good example. For in Egypt, when I travel to Egypt, everybody wants to see the pyramids in Cairo. Okay, then you see the pyramids, but then you come back from the pyramids and you see hundreds of merchants, in front of the pyramids, and they all sell you the same rubbish, all the same kitsch. That means they sell you, for example, they sell you the pyramids, like this. In different materials, made of plastic, or illuminated, and then sometimes also they sell you things like this. The camels,
you are really good at drawing.
They sell you camels in ugly ways,
Like souvenirs.
Kitsch souvenirs. But you can also buy souvenirs with quality. And most of the nations, they lose their identity in selling too much kitsch. And it's a phenomenon. You find it. I traveled a lot of countries, and you find this phenomenon, unfortunately, all over the world. Everywhere. And the best thing, if you go to the airport, before you leave the airport, the country, in the airport, in this duty-free zone, this is one of the worst places. Always you find kitsch, and they work with these cliches.
Yes.
So which one is this again? Right. This is cliche. So we have shops or something else we have forgotten. Just have to be also.
Some kind of chocolates, maybe with the name of country or a famous with this place.
Also. It all belongs to souvenir shops. But I want to say, whatever is expensive, what kind of money for what services does people
Entertainment places.
Entertainment.
Excellent. We do it like this. For entertainment.
For example, in Turkey, they have their famous pahlava, Turkish pahlava. It's very expensive for tourists. But it has some kind of different taste. That's why they try to taste it. So even it's too expensive.
Or you have heard about the phenomenon. It's also not here, but in Europe. It has to do with the social media. It was a young girl in Dubai, and she created the Dubai chocolate.
Yes. It's
People
also
are crazy, but unbelievably expensive.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's only sweet. Yeah,
Yes.
it's crunchy.
Yeah.
There's some pistachio in it.
Yes.
It has green color inside.
Yes. Yeah.
If it has natural color, but it's artificial color.
Yeah.
So, but people are crazy about this Dubai chocolate.
Yes.
So this is also a thing. But also, we said entertainment, and also don't forget, very important, not so much here, but in Europe, in the Alps, in the mountains. I told you, Hamza, what is my
Yes.
hobby in winter? In the winter?
So skiing.
Skiing,
Where,
skating.
and where can you do the skiing?
Of course,
Mountains.
Mountains. So people
Swiss
spend money
mountains.
for sports.
Yes.
Swiss mountain.
For skiing. Well, if you want to go skiing in the mountain, you have to pay a ticket
Yes.
that allows you to go to the mountain, to use the lifts. If I want to play a round of golf, in a foreign country, I have to pay for a ticket, allowance for it. If I want to do the sailing and surfing, I have to rent a sailboard or a sail ship. So I give money for entertainment and sports. I think we have it now. That's it. Excellent. So we come to almost the last.
Nice.
So target-oriented and sound marketing. What does that mean?
Target.
Oriented.
Oriented and sound.
Oriented and sound means profound, earnest, professional. You could also say sound. You could say, professional. Professional marketing. That means, what does it have? A good example. We have this really tremendous ship cemetery. I learned in the lesson. It's quite unique. If it's due to a catastrophe, but it's quite unique. So, what does it help if nobody knows about it? Nobody will come to Kus. Why do I have to go there if I don't know it?
Yes.
I don't get interest. So marketing is there, and PR, public relations, to help to get the interest of people. And as I told you, don't forget, not only you, other some 100 destinations are in competition with each other. Everybody asks the tourists, please come to me, I'm the best destination, come to me.
It's like an advertisement.
It's
Advertising.
marketing. That means it's good. I will explain it because you're not only it's advertisement.
Yeah.
It's advertisement, right? What else can it be? Marketing. It's a like an overall definition. Marketing is a word for several things and for several meanings.
Attracting clients.
Attracting clients by excellent. It's social media. Social
Brochures like.
excellent. Social media, and this we call it in the term online marketing.
Yeah. Online.
You've heard about this. Online marketing. What else is online marketing? Social media.
Yeah.
You do kind of newsletter. Newsletter. You do websites.
Yeah. Websites.
Websites. You create the websites with appealing photographs. Descriptions. And even websites. You do all what you can to be found at Google. You do Google research.
Yes.
Making films, maybe.
Google marketing and Google research. So that means in Google, you are only found, you know that, if you have contributed with some content. That means you have to publish articles about ship cemetery. You have to find influencers. You know about this influencer? Very, very interesting marketing tool. Meanwhile, they are so important that even sometimes influencers are more important than the media. This is here, media. Media, that means media, press, TV, and radio. You can invite journalists, and this is called the so-called offline marketing. Because offline marketing. This is we also say classical marketing. This is classical offline classical marketing. This one, social media, online marketing, newsletter, website, Google. This is also online marketing. What could also be marketing? What else?
Making films.
Yeah, so that means you do like
Documentary film.
yeah, you use your destination as a location. Yeah. So as the expression that means it's yeah, we say we call it, as you said, location. Yeah, for films. Yeah, location for films, TV series. Yeah, as I told you, the producers of Game of Thrones, you know it maybe?
Yes.
They choose Dubrovnik in Yugoslavia, I told this morning, for making the scenery of Game of Thrones. If you saw the medieval city of the kingdom of the Thrones, it was taken in Dubrovnik. It's a real city, and they used it for the scenery of Game of Thrones in ex-Yugoslavia, Croatia. And it got so popular that now you have the problem of over-tourism in Dubrovnik. Or we said Harry Potter.
Yes.
Or you remember the Hobbits with this the ring, the saga which took place in New Zealand with the Hobbits. You've heard about this? Master of the Rings. Master of the Rings. Yeah, it took place in New Zealand. People are crazy about going to the original place where it was taken. Like Romeo and Juliet in Verona. They made the movie out there. So people travel to this, and it's very popular. They even do guided tours in some cities and show them, look, at this point, that movie has been taken. Here was the famous scene where Al Pacino shoot somebody, and even they do this in Hollywood. And also, this location for films and TV series. And then this goes really already in the direction of public relation, very important. Public. I think I heard the day before yesterday, your press manager asked me for an interview for the Tashkent television. I gave an interview. This was sheer public relation. I had to tell him my comments about the festival of these folklore groups. And this is a typical example for public relations. And this is really very important because public relations doesn't cost so much money. Advertisement, media, and press and radio and TV is very expensive. And a region like Nukus cannot afford, or even like Karipak. So you have to rely on, and it's the first step, much easier. Already come up, more easy. But you have to do it professionally. And that means public relations could be inviting journalists from abroad, or local journalists. You invite them, show them your area, and then after, if they are fascinated, they go back and they write an article. And it's published, if you are lucky, in New York Times, or Washington Post, or at Times in London, or in the Mirror, or whatever. So, and then this, sometimes you don't underestimate the effect of these articles. People are really crazy. Oh, this is like a special secret type of somebody. I hint I should go there. And then, so you can influence this by inviting journalists. You can launch own articles. You can say to local writers, please write an article, and I will sell this article to foreign newspapers. So, and what else could be PR? Something else? Yeah, you can. It's an example.
Maybe how to say? Maybe Olympic Games to.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Good idea. This is, you could say organizing, international.
Sport events.
No, yeah, excellent. Or national. I write it down also. National sports events.
Festivals also.
like Olympics would be the best, yeah, if you could arrange it. Sometimes have the Olympic Games in Uzbekistan, yeah, but also a tournament for boxing, yeah, because you are very fond of boxing, I heard.
Yes.
Or let's say a soccer event, yeah.
Soccer.
So Nation League is invited to Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Name it Paralympics, yeah,
Paralympics.
handicapped people,
Yes.
such things, yeah. Or the international tournament of bikers, yeah, of kayak, name it, what or the trekking summit, whatever, yeah. And you could also do, but it's also a good instrument. You could organize national sports events, congresses, yeah, congresses, conventions, yeah, international conventions. Because sometimes with the convention, people come before, they stay after the convention. They do a pre or post tour, classical wording, pre and post tours. They come with their wife, if it's a man. If it's a woman, she comes with her husband. Yeah, and then they say, okay, after the congress or convention, we will travel a little bit on our own. Yeah? So this is a wonderful tool to create tourism. Yeah? And you know, a very famous event in Switzerland, which is well known, like a convention, congress. You heard about this one? It's in the movies, in the TV, in the news. It's always in, I think, in February, end of February, March, in Switzerland. You've heard about this event?
Congress vote.
Oh, yeah.
You heard about it?
Zimmerman.
You heard about it? It's the very famous. Maybe you heard about it. They're all, even Trump, last time Trump was there, all the presidents from all countries come. Maybe also your Uzbek president comes sometimes.
And in our country, in Samarkand, holds several Asian Congress. I don't know. Shows. I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Shanghai organized.
Yes, Shanghai Corporation.
Yeah, something like this. Or
Samarkand.
you find international companies, yeah, like McDonald's of the world, or
Şartlarına Western, Eastern.
or car makers like Chevrolet. They do the international assembly here.
Yes, and they
Do you mean the formal summits?
Yes.
Maybe you heard about this one.
Which one? What was the name?
World Economic Forum.
World Economic Forum again? Or?
You have never heard? World Economic Forum, and it's in the city of Davos, in Switzerland, in the mountains. And at that time, when it's happened, it's snowing. But all the states presidents from all over Europe, from America, from Canada, from Asia, even the finance minister from China was there. They all come to meet during 4 or 5 days at the World Economic Forum. Yeah, and then the hotel rates go up. It's very expensive, yeah? Because all the delegations want to live there. Yeah, so we have organizing that, and then while doing this organization, sport events, the television have to report about it. Yeah, and so your name is in the news. Yeah? I think we have it all, huh? And sound marketing, yeah, that means target oriented. So not everybody is interested in sport. Yeah? So maybe you can organize for the people who are not organized, like you can also do art fairs. Yeah?
Music festivals.
Music
exhibitions.
Yes.
Exhibitions.
We talked about this wonderful electronic music festival at the Ship Cemetery.
Yeah.
Music. Yeah. Art fairs, music.
Yeah, группа
Yeah.
ертең 19-ында болады екен этап, не? 18-інде.
Music festivals.
ертең бар емес пе?
And events for special interest groups. That means the music lovers, you can only touch them if it's an important music event. They're not interested in sports, yeah?
Yes.
So you have to differentiate your marketing, yeah? Don't tell everybody the same,
Сол күн не?
but only
19 күн.
inform
Ақтан
music lovers about
99
music
тағам
festival.
қайғана.
The art lovers about art. Right.
ертеңге. 18 еді ғой, 19 екен да ояқта.
Басқасы көтөбүмүз келет.
Ya son айтып,
What do you mean?
Мойнақ туралы.
No.
About Moynak. So
About
tomorrow
tomorrow.
we are going to
Yeah.
Moynak,
Normal.
but
You were planning to go to Moina tomorrow, yes,
Mhm.
with Mr. Jitterbai.
Yeah.
So on the 19th of the April, it's not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow,
Yeah.
they're going to be held a big forum.
And
There's going
fish
to be a
festival.
festival, fish
99,
festival, a concert,
Yeah.
and from the 99
Different
different,
Dishes from
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah.
different types of the fishes will be held an exhibition.
Uh-huh.
So you may watch this
And see, yeah,
demonstration.
excellent.
yeah,
Yeah.
see and
They talked, the
taste.
young girls talked about the fish food festival. Is it
Yes,
this?
yes,
Yes,
yes.
Yes,
this
Yeah.
is the fish festival.
It will be on 19.
This whole 19th April.
Yeah,
19th.
just now.
That's why we should
We should go
we
on.
have to change the date, not tomorrow, but 19th.
Maybe you
If
make up your mind and
If you
reschedule.
agree.
I'm flexible. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you agree.
Mr. Jikibara was going to ask from you
Yeah.
if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Then
Sure.
they
No,
will
no
change the
problem.
schedule
What day is the 19th?
the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday,
Yeah.
yes.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect for me.
Saturday.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
good. Good, okay.
Is it okay?
No, it's a good occasion. Yeah.
Yes.
Ah,
Because
yeah.
you're going to watch
Yes.
all kind of.
Yeah, super. Yeah.
And
No, I
that day we
agree.
can drink beer.
Finally. Yeah. Finally.
Ay, geliyor.
Finally.
That day we can drink beer with fish.
Ay, geliyor.
Finally.
Bana sayın.
Finally.
We also
We said you can also do. You're right. It's a good point. We write down food festival. Yeah.
Yes, food festivals.
Onda jedan ćer, onda masim barove, onda mi vrlo.
we know about it recently. About this organizing fish festival. We know this now.
Yeah. It's super. Then I'm happy with this. Yeah. So we come to the last point. We have it already. So this was very good. Yeah. You see, as a team, we are strong. So what does this mean? You can read it.
Dependency.
Dependency of the main source
Source
market.
markets. Yeah.
Source.
Of course,
You understand?
without dependency.
What does it mean for you?
Resources, maybe.
Main source markets.
Yeah. What do you think? What is the source
Good
market?
service.
No.
No.
What is the source market? Maybe it's too much.
It's like something
marketing
that we
English.
produce from ourselves.
No, that means the
No?
source market means look, this is the little country of Germany. It's a shape like this. Huh? So this is Germany. Yeah? This is the Baltic Sea. This is the Baltic Sea is here, sorry, and this is North Sea. Yeah? This is Baltic Sea. So this is Switzerland, CH. This is France. Yeah. This is Poland,
Mhm.
and this is Czechoslovakia. So yeah, and here is Austria. Austria. That's so. Germany is surrounded by different countries. Yeah? So this is a small country. We have some 80 million inhabitants, and Germany was once called world master in traveling because we are one of the countries that send the most tourists abroad. Yeah? Germans are fond of traveling. Why? Also, we have a let's say a high level of income. People can afford to travel. Yeah? That's also, and that's why we talk about so. Germany, world master of traveling. World master of traveling. Yeah? That means why we could afford. It's our Bruttosozialprodukt. Yeah? Our gross net income for the state is very high. We have high level of salary. We have people have gained a lot of money. They have a lot of opportunities to open their own business. Yeah? We have a strong stock market. Yeah? So all this helped us to travel the world. Yeah? We could afford it. Yeah? So that means source market. And this, we are Germany, Deutschland is the source. Yeah, the source of your business. Yeah? Yeah? So we are sending from Germany, from all over cities, cities to Uzbekistan. Yeah? The form of Uzbekistan is a bit like this. Yeah? We send clients to Uzbekistan. Yeah? Yeah. You are the destination. Yeah? The
It's
destination.
a relationship, yeah.
Yeah, and we are the source, yeah, for your tourists. Yeah? The Quelle, the source. Yeah? In tourism, we talk about source markets. Yeah? That's the meaning of it. So you depend on this. We also go to other countries. We also go in the other direction. We go to Spain, we go to Italy, and name it. Yeah. So there's always a competition with it. And what does it help? Yeah, if Germans have a recession, if our income will decline, if we have a crisis in Germany, then maybe our system gets unstable. Yeah? So, or like due to pandemic, yeah, you couldn't travel suddenly, yeah, for 2 years.
Yes.
So that's why you depend. You can do the best. Yeah, you can prepare yourself with infrastructure. You can construct new hotels. Yeah, but who dares if nobody can come, or is not willing to come? Yeah? Then the hotel is empty. So this is for tourism very essential. The most essential things are stable conditions in your country. Yeah, on the political side. Yeah,
Yeah.
for all countries, it's valid for all countries, and also that you have strong source markets. Yeah, and the strongest source markets for you maybe is all the neighbor countries from Asia, yeah? Central Asia, Europeans and Americans. Yeah? I don't know, how is it, do you see a lot of Americans here in Uzbekistan? Do a lot of Americans come here? Or only little? What is your impression?
Not many Americans.
Not many Americans?
But mostly French people visit.
Yeah, seriously. So French are very fond of Uzbekistan. Yeah.
Especially the art.
Especially
China
for music.
Chinese. So you say sources, we call it sources for Uzbekistan, I think the short form. Is you say the main sources, where do the most tourists come from?
France.
From France?
Yeah.
Germany. France.
China.
Amerika'dan kimi var?
Güneydoğu.
Amerika'dan turist alınca kimiydi?
Turistler de
who
right?
else?
Germany.
China.
And also India, especially Samarkand is mostly visited.
From China.
China. China.
India.
China.
Yeah. Most of them are Chinese.
India also?
Yes, India. Yes, India.
India?
China is.
And from Japan.
Also.
Japan or Japan.
And most of the from Central Asia.
Yeah,
From
Central Asia.
Kazakhstan, Tajikistan.
Chinese are flooding
Yeah.
all over the world.
It's a big,
Yeah.
they have the highest potential.
Yeah.
If they overcome their recession. What about Russian tourists?
Yes.
Yes,
Also.
yes, definitely.
You can see
We are
Russian
friendly
also.
And United States less, yeah? You said?
Yes.
Very little. What about English tourists?
Mostly for business or
Yeah.
for.
Yes, from
Yeah.
England
They
also?
want
Yes,
us.
sometimes. No, not a lot.
Not
Not many are English or American people.
They're not so tourists. They come with the purpose of business or studying or something else.
You make like little USA,
Yeah.
and Great Britain, right? Little, yes?
Yes.
Little numbers, huh? Okay, numbers. So, little, interesting. That's interesting. So, this is, you see, and so that's why I show this. You depend strongly on this, and if you do a clever tourism policy, your government, you do not depend only on one source market. Yeah, some countries they heavily depend on, let's say, 1, 2, or maximum 3 markets. This can be very dangerous, yeah, in kind of recession. Or let's say in one of the main source markets, if there is a catastrophe or a political extreme change, yeah, or a recession, economy goes down. Who's clientele? Yeah, and you are lost because you do your best. You have trained your staff. You have good hotels. You have good food. You have the sightseeing, but they don't come, yeah, because they cannot afford anymore. And also think about what is also important is about might want to do this thing. Yeah, about political issues. If they extend the visa requirements, yeah, some like your country is very liberal to us Germans. We don't need a visa if you want to stay for 30 days. I didn't need a visa.
Yes.
Yeah? The other way, if I want to go to Madagascar, I need a visa. And they are really sometimes tricky. They ask you, Klaus, you have to go to your police station and get a confirmation that you behaved well in Germany. Yeah. Then I have to bring a second confirmation that I'm really living in Berlin, which is really crazy. Yeah? And it's only paperwork.
Yeah.
And when I asked the people at the embassy, because you Germans are so strict with us from Madagascar, because we have probably in Germany too many people from Africa want to come to Germany to get jobs. Yeah? And so we have to be a bit more selective with that. Yeah? But the ambassadors, they fight back with some restrictions, yeah, and say now the Germans also need a confirmation. This is a kind of the political game. But it's very important. How are the conditions in your source markets? Yeah?
I think in Uzbekistan there is no, there isn't any need to have a visa or something.
No,
If you stay for a month, eh?
And
No.
look, even when after the pandemic, Chinese were also very strict during pandemic with visas. I think. And suddenly they noticed Europeans didn't come anymore to China. Suddenly they changed their program totally. Yeah? They use the obligations. They say you can come, you're welcome. Yeah? And this is a very strong factor in tourism.
Yes.
This kind of restrictions can influence your demand heavily.
Yes, this can affect tourism.
It's very strong. And then that's what I say, okay, these are for me, the 10 most important requirements for destination. And then what I can recommend you now, if you don't have any questions more for this, everything clear, or one expression I mentioned you didn't understand right now? Or?
Yes.
It's clear.
Dependency, it means dependent. Yeah?
You see, you can do your best, but it's there's only little possibility to influence this factor. The other factors I showed you, this is your country can influence on this. Yeah, you can say we increase the level of quality. You can say we invest in modern technology. It's all your decision. Yeah, Uzbek government maybe. You can say we take care of our security. Yeah? It's all what you can do. But the last striking point, number 10, you cannot influence because it's happening in the source market. Yeah? It's happening in China. It's happening somewhere. Yeah? You understand?
Yes.
This is and what I would recommend for you, if you want to use this as a basis for your lectures, I would recommend that you use this, and then maybe it's too long now for you because you're professionals, but I would recommend you take all this and then ask your student as a homework or like a teamwork. Yeah, you can ask. Now we have talked all about these factors. Yeah. Now. It's a wonderful work for your students. Now ask your students, please, in little groups maybe, that they can discuss it, make an evaluation. And you have to judge what is fulfilled with these points in Uzbekistan. You can say, either you say for all of Uzbekistan, maybe easier, or you say what is fulfilled on this criteria for the area of Karalpak. What can we offer in Karabakh? Do we have that unique landscape? Do we have natural highlights? Do we have historical buildings? You just said little, almost not. So you have to say, okay, we don't have this. So the students can work on this. And then you say literature. We have the poet, for example. The museum of the poet. We have gastronomy. Okay, and then you go through this. That means. And then all these points you can go through this. I will write it down. Here's my last one. So we said using the reference. Now we take one more table. You can make it here. Or we take a paper, the next paper. Can you help me? There's one paper behind you. I need one of these papers. Ja, super. I'm prepared for this, you see. I brought this from Germany, the famous tape.
Fluorescent paper.
And it's easier. Yeah, so it keeps for a second. So, what you can do as a proposal for you, for your lectures, you could say first we do an evaluation. Yeah, on requirements. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Focus
Evaluation on what?
on the requirements. Yeah. Point. Top 1 to 10. Yeah. Yeah. That's before. Yeah? You say, okay, focus on, you can say Carol Park. Yeah? Or Uzbekistan, total Uzbekistan. It's up to you. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, and then you do this evaluation, and then you can say to the students, yeah, give notes, yeah, yeah, from 1 to 10. Yeah? Yeah? Let's say 1 is very poor,
Yes. Highest one is 10.
and 10, highest 10 is excellent. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can also work with 0%, 10%, or 100%. But I think it's better 1 to 10. Yeah, yeah, and they say give notes. For example, with historic buildings, it's maybe 2. Yeah, only. Yeah, with landscape, maybe it's 8. Yeah. So yeah, you bring them to the point that they are more critical and that they really judge themselves. How do we see our country, or our destination? So give notes. Then, second thing what I would recommend is make a comparison with main competitors. Yeah?
Like benchmark.
Yeah, like benchmark, right? Excellent. So that means comparison with that means let the students, maybe it's a bit for them, but you can help them. It makes okay. Now tell us compare Uzbekistan or Lukus area with the area of Samarkand or Bukhara, or maybe it's easier, compare Uzbekistan with Kazakhstan, or compare, you're an expert for Turkey, compare Uzbekistan with Turkey. Or your friend, very interesting, for lunch we discussed, I asked this gentleman, please tell me, you're an expert. He was your colleague of you before. And then I said, what do you think, what is the main competitor for Uzbekistan? I was really surprised, but he was right. I didn't thought about it. I was really surprised. He said to me, Saudi Arabia. I said, oh, interesting. Saudi Arabia. Yeah. I didn't came to my mind first, but he is right. Yeah, it's a similar situation. They also have a lot of desert. Yeah? They have similar culture. They have hidden trends, yeah, which nobody knows really. And they started an enormous marketing effort they had a booth at ITB in Berlin, at the world's largest travel fair, a big hall full of presentations for Saudi Arabia. They construct 5-star luxury hotels like crazy. Yeah? They even build ski resorts. Can you imagine in Saudi Arabia? In winter, you can go skiing in Saudi Arabia. They fill it with artificial snow. They build hotels on top of the mountain. And you can have the slopes going from the hotel down to the valley. And they will build an ecological city 100 kilometers long, yeah, and 1 kilometer wide, and up to ecological standards. Yeah. So it's really crazy what they do. They build museums, yeah, luxury hotels, camps, and they do a lot of propaganda, of advertisement all over Europe to attract people from abroad to Saudi Arabia. Because, you know, it was very restrictive. You could only go for business there. You need a visa. Yeah, it's very strict. And now they turned around 180 degrees in their tourism policy. And this is a good example. So, yeah, for example, what is your main competitor? Other meetings? What do you think is a competitor for Uzbekistan?
I think it should be Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, yeah. Kazakhstan, okay. What else? Some other opinions? What comes to your mind? Saudi?
I don't think that Saudi could be the best country to watch because it has already
Russia.
Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Russia. Girls competitor.
Girls company, yeah.
Yes.
Something else? Some other country?
Turist boyunca o turist.
Turkey?
boyunca.
No, Turkey.
Turist konuşamam.
Turizm boyunca o size başka
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good, interesting.
Similar. The find color.
Kalay turistlardı
Жалпы
attracting boyunca oldu. Ben
Interesting.
sonuçta Saudi Arabistan'da aldı. Saudi Arabistan bұрын 15 жыл алды есірт жоқ еді ғой. Бірден десерт болған болса бірден бір затларды қойып тастап artificial затлармен азыр не болып кетті.
Dubai can be.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia ғой енді.
Saudi Arabia, yeah. Turkey can also be.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Түркия мен айта алмаймыз ғой, олардың теңізі бар, ояққа барады.
Теңіз.
Біздердің немістей зат болу керек та, сол салыстыра алады.
Saudi Arabia ғой бірақ desert еді ғой олар.
Есірт жоқ еді.
Есірт жоқ еді. Там is it artificially created everything.
Russia'da artificial mı? Russia artificial ise Russia uzan tek so Kreml'ga var mı?
Oh, yes,
What do you think?
mostly.
What is your discussion? You're not content
So
with
we are
Russia?
comparing Russia. What
It's,
is?
yeah,
Yeah.
they have different opinions.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
talking
we
about
have.
Russia.
Yeah.
So we
What
have
is
different
your-
opinions.
So what is popular in there?
They don't agree with me.
It is women all the time. Huh? Horrible.
They're pulling me back.
I feel pity.
Yeah.
Oh, poor boy. He's so alone. He's so alone with his opinion. So yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, we have a wide array. You can choose, and even your students can choose. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can ask them now compare the components in another country or destination. Yeah, or even
Kırgızistan'da mıydı? Kırgızistan'da mıydı?
Kırgızistan.
Қазақстанда неге барады ғой?
Суға барады ғой.
Ана
Балқаш
неге барады ғой? Алтын көл ма?
Балқаш
Bir затқа барады әйтеуір. Ұмытып қалдым.
And what did you say? What did you say? That's interesting for me. Within Uzbekistan, which area or city you are competing with? With Farangani Valley or with Samarkand or Bukhara or
Xiva, Samarkand, Bukhara.
Kivar, Samarkand,
Xiva, Samarkand, Bukhara. The major
Xiva,
competitors.
Samarkand.
Bukhara.
Yes.
Kivar, Samarkand,
The major competitors for the.
They are the main center in Uzbekistan.
For us, yes.
The most famous.
That's a free, yeah?
Yes.
Free main
Yes.
communication. Excellent. We agree. Oh, we agree all now, yeah? He's not alone.
Now they support me.
And yeah, and then a third point, you can, for your students, if you like, you can say, evaluation.
Записывать YouTube. О, чіткі розжирена. Трансляція. О, дальше чуть-чуть. Прямая эфир.
You can learn about benchmarking, yeah, with the students. And they say, okay, evaluate like we did, from 1 to 10 again, yeah? Evaluate our offer, Uzbekistan or Lucas or Karalpak with the other regions, yeah? And you can again give notes from 1 to 10. Yeah? Yeah, this could be a wonderful for the students and like a teamwork, yeah, or think job. This could be something, yeah. Is that some more questions about this? Hamza, then I would like to ask you. Oh, sorry. Make a photo.
Is it my leg or not?
No, it's my feet. Can you make a photo of me and of course and the group? Picture like this. I will stand there and this we have all the group together. Come a bit further. Let me see you.
In the morning, they.
This is nice. Yeah, that's excellent. And we do like this. So, have a nice day here with the pencil. Okay. Super. Good. Thanks a lot. So, some more questions from your side, or hints, or critics, or
It's very beneficial seminars.
Yeah.
did it help you? Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question.
There are many useful
You told
information.
us that in the first point that the natural attractiveness, you told us that it is the key factor in attracting tourists worldwide. But the question is, what if we don't have any natural attractiveness in our places, for example, because that's mostly arid, and we can't.
Aslında
provide-
gelin
Yeah.
şey.
Good point. Good point. Yeah. Good point.
YouTube'dan gorbalatmaya mı gerekiyor?
Hamza, I make a photograph that you are
Yeah.
also in the picture. That you are, I can see you all like this. Yeah, like this. Excellent.
Why was that?
You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Why was that?
I forgot to smile. Could you take one?
Yes, sure. So, put your best smile ever on. Is the one? No, come on. Oh, these cameras. They make me crazy. Yeah, like this. It's wonderful. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, he has a good point. I want to ask you a question. It's a very good point. Yeah, here. You see, this is a very good point. If you don't, you need this. But if you don't have it, it's really, what can you do? So we talked this morning about the very good example. Think about Disneyland in Florida or Los Angeles in America. It was a jungle. It was nothing was there at Disneyland. And Walt Disney had the vision in the middle of nowhere. He created a fun, amused entertainment park, yeah, with his comic figures, and he created Disneyland. Nobody, everybody has forgot about this desert or jungle that has been before, or the mud was there around there. But now everybody, Disney is an attraction on itself, but it's man-made, it's artificially made. Yeah? Even Dubai, we discussed it this morning. They have the tallest skyscraper. They have the most exclusive shopping mall. They have the most luxurious hotels. Yeah, it's all about superlatives. Yeah, but if you don't have this, you can switch on to this.
Yes.
And here you can go in two strategies. Eiffel, you do it like Dubai, with a lot of glamour, luxurious things, yeah, or like Disney, also with a lot of mass investments, or you go the other way in a like the Ibiza style. I also talked about this morning. You go this more easygoing way, yeah, and stay with your local traditions. That means, for example, we heard about this music festival, the electro music. I asked you, Belfast, you have only some. I was surprised. Only 200 people take place in of its festival.
Yes, here.
Yeah.
Stichia.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Only 200 people for such a wonderful festival. You could easily extend up to 20,000, yeah? 2,000 first step, then 10,000, in the third year 20,000. Why? Because you can create it's there already. It's part artificial, yeah, part of your culture. But now you can say, okay, we make it something more. Yeah? But it needs again investment in infrastructure. So it doesn't make sense to create a 5-star luxury hotel at that place because it only takes place once. Yeah? But maybe you can extend it and it takes place for 3 weeks, yeah? Or 3 times in a year in spring, or in spring and in autumn, yeah? When the climate is okay. So, but for this time, you don't have to create a hotel, but you build up a camp, yeah? With tents, or you create yurts, the gear camps, like in Mongolia, I saw at the festival. This you can easily transport. It's sustainable. Yeah, you can pack it in winter. Yeah, why am I doing this? Yeah, make a part-time accommodation, yeah? And develop it for this. Yeah, and then you can say, or even you find investors who say, okay, we don't need a 5-star hotel in that location. We will create a 3-star hotel. Yeah, and we do it in the local style. And this hotel can be packed with the festival, but in the other times, people come for seeing the ship cemetery. Yeah? You show them the park with the 7,000 flamingos, which is quite unique. I haven't heard before. Yeah? It's another reason to come to your area. So why not? Yeah. And then, and if one investor and one innovator starts the first move. Yeah. It's always in tourism like this. Somebody does the first move, and suddenly others follow. Yeah? And the history of tourism is full of these examples. It was a first mover, yeah? Like Thomas Cook. He invented the travel packages in 1870, around that. He made the first package tour around the world, starting from England, and he was the first tour operator ever, yeah? Thomas Cook. So it was the first move. Yeah? Now we have some 100 tour operators, 1,000 tour operators. Yeah? And in other destinations the same, and especially the English pioneers in that. Yeah? For example, the tourism in the southern part of France would never have happened without the English. Yeah? And it's crazy enough. You know, France, in the southern part of France, you have France, this is France. France is a bit like this. And this is France. And this part here, yeah, this part here is called the Côte d'Azur. You've heard about it. Côte d'Azur. Yeah? Côte d'Azur. This is one of the most famous destinations in France and in Europe. Côte d'Azur, it's very luxurious, it's traditional, it has a lot of old villas, it has beach resorts. And then beside that, here is a very little state called Monaco. You've heard about this? Monaco. It's
Yes.
a principauty, yeah. There's a prince, Albert from Monaco, and the city is called Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo.
You've heard about it?
Monte Carlo.
This is from
Yeah,
Monte
and
Carlo.
it is very famous for its casino, Belle Epoque style, traditional. So, but it all started with the Côte d'Azur. And and the Côte d'Azur in 1807 something, British noble families wanted to go away from England because it was humid, it was hot, cold, it was nasty weather, yeah, and they had cold, they're coughing, and then we have to recover. And they found that they were pioneers in tourism, the British, they traveled to the Côte d'Azur, to the city of Nice, and Cannes. These are the most prominent cities in southern France. And in 1817, the first noble families bought houses there, yeah, or created hotels, very luxurious hotels. And the funny thing is, these noble families from England, they stayed there not in summer, but in winter. And so that area that became very famous all over England, and a lot of other followers, they were the first influencers, yeah, because they told their friends, oh, we have been to Nice, it's a comfortable climate, good food, good wine, yeah, good, nice surrounding, nice mountains and the beach and the sea. You can walk along the sea, and then it came up, and it started to be one of the first main popular travel destinations in Europe. It was the Côte d'Azur, and it's and sometimes it's very funny. This name Côte d'Azur is a synonym everywhere on the world if you have a very exclusive beach area. Yeah? And sometimes say, this is for example, in Turkey, they say the near Bodrum is a famous village. They say this is the Côte d'Azur of Turkey. Yeah? Or in Greece, there's a very famous island, Mykonos. We can talk about this also. It's also a phenomenon. You have to remember. This is my favorite place in Greece, Mykonos. You have to Google this. Mykonos. This is the most popular island in Greece. It's very trendy. It's unbelievable. Yeah? It's a small little island. It has one airport and let's say 6 villages, yeah? And some 100 hotels, all in the Greek style, all in white and blue. Yeah? And there's not like here, not much trees. Yeah? You can compare it with here.
Yeah.
It's really hard for them to plant trees, yeah? But you have wonderful beaches, have a wonderful sunset, and all the fancy people from Europe, the intellectuals, the artists, like to go there. And now you have wonderful fancy restaurants, you have nightclubs, you have discotheques, you have, and it's a very, very pleasant, comfortable lifestyle. Yeah? And very basic, but on a high level. Yeah? And they say this is like the Côte d'Azur of Greece. Yeah? Yeah? And everywhere you go, they tell you this is the Côte d'Azur of blah, 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 that country. Yeah? So never heard about Mykonos? Yeah? And another dream or another trendy, very famous island, I told you already, this is Greece. Yeah, Greece. And in Spain you have Ibiza. Ibiza. This is Spain.
Come
And the most popular island, you know what this is in Spain? The most popular island in Spain,
Island?
Yeah. This is also benchmark for. I would recommend it for every country who wants to develop tourism. Have a look at Mallorca. You have heard about Mallorca? Mallorca. It's you have to Google this. It's Mallorca. Mallorca. It's also Spain. And this is an excellent example. You can find all aspects of tourism policy development in Mallorca. You have the basic holiday sector, yeah, very for backpackers. Yeah. You have the middle class tourism, and you have a lot of high class tourism. And the main city of Mallorca is called Palma de Mallorca. Palma de Mallorca. And this is one of the strongest airports over Europe because every 3 minutes in summer a plane is landing in Mallorca and leaving. Yeah? Every 3 minutes. And it's the favorite island of the Germans. It's very favored with the British, even for people from Scandinavia, Sweden, Denmark. And it's also very popular with meanwhile for British people, yeah. And we have it's funny in some villages in Mallorca you have mainly British tourists. In the other village, you have mainly German tourists. Yeah. This island has made different developments, up and downs in tourism. Yeah? And sometimes they even have problems because it's a kind of an over-tourism. Yeah? And the owners of the village, the inhabitants of the villages, they sometimes protest and say, now it's enough. Yeah? Because they always build, they have it all. They have water sports, they have golf courses, they have a bike, you can go by bike, you can go for sailing, you go for surfing, you can rent yachts, yeah, we have it all. And it's very popular to rent a house on Mallorca. Yeah? And even a lot of Germans, when they are retired, they move from Germany to Mallorca and live there for the rest of their life. Or a lot of people, if they can afford, they shuttle between Mallorca and Germany. Yeah? And they even do their remote homework for Mallorca. Yeah? Because nowadays, nobody knows where you are sitting. Yeah? Yeah? And that's why it's so popular. And this is an excellent example. You should know these three names. These are the most iconic travel destinations in Europe. Yeah? With a high level of imagination. And if you only mention these three words, suddenly people have something in their mind. Yeah, yeah. Like Mykonos is the ideal of a Greek island. A lot of party. Yeah, young people, intellectuals, artists. This is hippie. Yeah, a bit very pleasant lifestyle. Very ecological also. Yeah? You find a lot of people who do the yoga and meditation. Yeah, and then Mallorca is, you have it all. This is like a supermarket. Yeah? You find everything there, from very low price to high price. Yeah? This is quite unique. We can talk even a bit more about this next time. Excellent. Thanks a lot. Huh?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do this in Germany at universities. You don't clap hands. You make this.
right.
This is applause for. This is applause for the teachers. Yeah, or for somebody who presents something. Yeah, yeah. You learned something. Was it helpful for you?
Yes.
Tell me, please.
It is
Yeah.
very helpful.
Brilliant lesson for us.
Are we going to have more classes?
Yeah, yeah. But you have to please tell me. I'm going to talk to Chetka. What interests you most? Yeah.
How to
What
teach
how can I help you the best? Yeah.
Yeah.
To improve your lessons, and let me know. I have to know.
How to teach guide students?
Yeah.
The students of guide department.
Students also want you to teach them
Yeah.
like this
Speak
seminar.
with you.
Similar training classes.
I said already
they
to
also want
my
to
first
participate.
impression when I came here. It was helpful to have this talk to this gentleman during lunchtime. I think you should bring more practical, more practice into your lessons. Yeah? Not only doing these games, yeah, it's nice, yeah, okay, but also confront them with real life situations. Yeah, so and as I said, this is the basis. The students have to know. That's why they are at the university. Basic knowledge about how tourism functions, yeah, and the extremes. They have to know the benchmarks. We have to tell them tourism can be from this kind of tourism up to this, yeah. And they can say, okay, we're at the beginning, yeah. Benchmark, we are at level 2. We have some tourism, but very little. Mallorca, yeah, or Bali or Japan is level 9, yeah, or 10, yeah.
Or Thailand.
Thailand is also level 10 almost. So you can say, we have to find our way, yeah, so you know what is our situation. Then the next step for me should be, we talked about all these assumptions, but now it's up sort about well-trained staff. Then you can say to the students, with this point here, set light connections. Yeah, here, consequent service orientation. I think this is your part, yeah? This is to you as a teacher to prepare them for it's easily said, yeah, service oriented.
Yeah.
But this is very hard to fulfill. And it, believe me, even I'm now for more than 40 years in that business, Still, I had to learn on service orientation. And you always will learn. And I think you should really well-trained staff. It's just 3 words, but it's so important. And you should train your students much more how it works in the real situations. So I would say do role games. Yeah. One student is the tour guide. 3 hours are tourists. Yeah. Let them in example. The games are good, but you should lead these games more toward practical substance. And then say, so you are a tour guide. Following situation. Yeah. We are ready to go with the bus to Munjak. Yeah. We meet at 9 o'clock. Yeah. So we have a program for a daily visit to Munjak, a ship cemetery. These are the 20 people, and you have to guide them. Yeah. So first of all, what have you do to prepare yourself? Yeah. So students have to evaluate, what do I need? I need my this thing. I need my smartphone, at least. Yeah. I need an umbrella if there's a sun too hot, or I need a hat, a cap. I need a map. Yeah? I need the program. I need blah blah blah. Yeah? First aid kit. You can make a checklist. I can help you with this checklist. Yeah? I can prepare this for you. Guide portfolio. Yeah, checklist. You work with this? You have checklists like this? Yeah. Okay. You can show me. You have to show me, but I can see what's in it. So this would be the first item. How to prepare yourself. Then you have to know what do you need as information from your tour operator. Yeah, you need the name of the guests. Yeah, you need the program. You need did they have to pay something? Yeah, or you need additional money for the entrance fee. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so it's complicated. Yeah. And then guidance. And then you guidance. Yeah, and then you train with them real life situations. Yeah? And let's say, okay, in the morning they come, the bus should be there, but the bus driver doesn't show up. Yeah? So now ask the students, what will you do? Yeah? Because you will train them ideal situations. Yeah? You always pretend the bus is there. Yeah? The group is nice. Yeah? The mosque is open and the restaurant is good. Yeah? The hotel is okay. No, that's not real life. In real life, I tell you, in tourism, all the time something goes wrong. Yeah? And it's the duty of these tour guides to solve these problems. Yeah? And the quality, service orientation of a tour guide is not that he is well dressed, that he knows a lot about history. This is a basic thing. I expect that. The critical factor is how can he handle problems. Yeah? And I think, in general, your education should more be oriented towards problem solution. Yeah? Yeah? Not about telling them facts, standards, but much more, and this would help them to do a better job when they finish university. Because in the job, in the business, in the travel industry, you are a problem shooter. Yeah? You have to shoot problems and to solve problems. Yeah? And this is what the employers of tour operators, of airlines, of travel agencies, that's what they ask. Yeah? It forms their character also, how stable they are as a personality, and if they have learned methods to handle all this. Yeah? And this should be, I would heavily recommend, this should be part of your schedule. Yeah? Yeah? Much more. Yeah? Not so much only theory, they need this, but more, and do these role games, and even, as we said at lunch, bring more people like me. Yeah? I'm now maybe one of the first examples, but bring more experts, not only from Germany, but also from your country. You have a lot of experience, former tour guides. Yeah? Ask somebody who lives here, bring them to the university. Yeah? Let them talk to the students. Let the students ask them. Yeah? Make workshops with them. Yeah? So and you should challenge the students more. Yeah? They are really nice and I like them. They're very curious, and I think they have the potential. You can really challenge them, and they will win self-confidence Yeah? They will be more confident. They will have a stronger character. Yeah, and then will succeed better in their job.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Is it the right direction?
Yeah, right. Perfect recommendation.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Role playing again.
It was very nice of you.
Yeah. Thank you. A good lesson. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Transition olarak ne? Thank you.
Thank you.